You say that the human was found 3 hours ago, but humans do not usually sleep so long, particularly not when they are in danger. Did you lie to me when you said no guards cause any harm to the human? Yes, I know you said I asked because I know how careless you and your men are. You disappointed me by slaughtering the last human to trespass into this forest. We were nearly forced into a war with the Erethan kingdom because you supposedly did not recognize their crest. Do you take me for a fool? I know that you recognized the heir to the Erethan throne and killed him. All the same, I will not blindly accept your insistence that you would not have injured one with no notable ties to nobility. Do not look away from me. It will only reaffirm my belief that you are deceiving me. Now, answer honestly. Did you or did you not cause any of the wounds that maim this human? Incompetent. Leave me. I cannot stand to listen to your idiocy for a second longer. It's a miracle I haven't cut his empty head from his neck. It would render that lying tongue of his useless at least. Oh, you're awake. There's no need to shrink away into the corner. You are trapped already, and it will not remove my attention from you. Oh, you truly are afraid. You're no warrior, are you? You've not come to kill me. Strange. I can think of no other reason for a human like you to trespass into this forest. Tell me, odd little human, why are you here? Calm now. I did not mean to scare you. Only asked to know what has driven you from the human kingdoms and into the arms of the trees, and, rather unfortunately for you, into the arms of our guards. On that subject, I must ask, where did these injuries come from? Were you injured before you came here? Did any of my men cause you any undue harm? I figured so. They can be quite brutish. There's no reason to curl in on yourself like a newborn rabbit. I can still see you. There's no way for you to escape me, certainly not in the state that you're in. Did I scare you again? But I'm only speaking the truth. You're injured. It only makes sense that I could overcome you in a spar should you try to escape from me. From what I can see, your injuries are fairly extensive, though apparently they didn't stop you from trying to fight off my soldiers. I heard you even managed to break one of their noses and leave another with dislocated fingers. I will admit to being somewhat impressed by that, though I'm certain it resulted in you receiving even more injuries. Some of your injuries are far fresher than others. Likely though, as you are still conscious, these wounds should be fairly treatable. Come here, human. I need to see you in the light. Did you not hear me? I told you to come to me, not to continue shaking in that corner of the cell. Fine then, I will just come to you. Quit trying to hide from me. You are only making this more difficult. Hurt you? Oh, little human. It is not my intention to hurt you. I only want to examine your injuries to see what has been done to you. It would be a rather unpleasant fate to die here, wouldn't you agree? Well, there is no one else here, is there? I have enough experience with mending wounds that I'm certain I can successfully heal them. Would you feel safer if I removed my sword and left it out here? Then I shall do so. Why? What do you mean asking me why? You said that it would put you at ease, so I laid down my sword. What more is there to ask? Worried? What, about not having a weapon on me when I approach you? Oh, my dear human, I highly doubt you'd be able to fight me, even if I am unarmed. Even if you weren't so terribly wounded, I suspect that you wouldn't be able to overcome me. There's no need to be so offended. I've been trained for years to wage war on those that would harm the elves under my rule. Looking at you, it would seem that you've not received near the same amount of training that I have. Your injuries only convince me of this fact even further. Your fear turns to indignation now. Quite the emotional one, aren't you? You should be careful with those sharp words of yours. It's my dungeon you're trapped in after all. But if you are finally feeling a bit more confident in my presence, will you finally allow me to take a look at your injuries? Finally, at long last you cooperate. Come here into the torchlight so I might see you better. That's it, come here. There's no need to be so hesitant. Such a cautious little thing, aren't you? Always so alert and hesitant to trust. You truly are just like a rabbit, aren't you? Well then, come here, little rabbit, and remove your cloak for me. It's torn to shreds, and I doubt that it's keeping you warm anyways. Go on then, take it off. Why not? Oh, by the gods, your fingers are near frozen to ice. No wonder they feel numb. Here, give me your other hand. Why do you ask so many pesky questions when I'm trying to help you? Have I given you any signs that I plan on hurting you? Any signs, even a single one? Precisely. Now, give me your other hand. If I hold both of your hands between my own, it'll help to warm them up so the frostbite doesn't steal the life from your fingers. Good. And look at that. I've yet to bite into these frozen hands of yours. Shocking, isn't it? Still shivering, Come closer. I will remove this useless cloak from you. The snow must have soaked it clean through, and the cold turned the snow into ice. I am certain it is only making you colder. There we are. That should help. Now, why have you not already come closer to me, as I asked you to? Well, because body heat is something that can be shared, as well as something that you are in desperate need of. Fortunately for you, I have some to share, so it's only reasonable that I lend you some. And why are you so hesitant now, Rabbit? A scandal? Ah, yes, that is quite a concern. So, let me take a look. No, there's no guards over there. Nor over there. Yes, I believe we are quite alone in this desolate dungeon. And because we are alone, I believe there should be no such scandal. There's no need to be so bashful. As I've just established, there's not a soul around that can see you harvesting off the warmth from my body. Such a sharp glare. Does this soft, shivering rabbit have claws after all? If you have nothing to be afraid of, then why have you not taken my offer to help warm yourself? At last, you finally relent. Though, I am not quite certain this is helping as well as I'd hoped. You shake with every breath still. Humanity is such a fragile thing. What strength do you have, little rabbit, to have made it all this way to me? Stay still. I have an idea as to how to warm you. Hush now. I insist. I'm warm enough without my cloak. It will serve far more purposes on you than it will on me. This weather is what I know best, and I promise you I do not feel it as you do. Is this warmer? If that's the case, then perhaps I could wrap my arm around you? The offer of my body heat has not been retracted, after all. A wise choice. Then, may I wrap my arms around you so that I might help the heat pass between us faster? Ulterior motives? I have none, I assure you. That is beneath me. You think so lowly of me, and yet here, willingly stepping into my arms, what poor self-preservation instincts you have, rabbit. What has happened to you, human? What have you done that has brought you here? No, you are not. Do not lie to me. Because I am not a fool. You humans are so very vulnerable to the cold, and this snowfall has raged on for days now. It must have been up to your knees even at the walls of the kingdom, and that is only if you've come from Eretha to the south. If you came from the north, then I would have been shocked that you survived at all. Why are you so silent now? Has your voice been stolen? Please listen to me when I say that I need to know what has occurred. Humans have not willingly walked into these woods for generations, and it appears that you ran into them without a second thought. What could have driven you from the safety of the human kingdoms and into the arms of your enemy? What exactly has happened? Your own blood is stuck on your clothes and on your face. Something has happened to you, rabbit, and you cannot deny that to me. What do you mean? If not yours, then whose blood is it? You killed the emperor of the Kadritis Empire. Rabbit, you're... No, this cannot be. Prove it then. Show me your neck. That scar. Gods almighty, it's real. You are real. The Silver Dawn assassin. I do not explain. Nothing of what has happened makes sense. You killed him? All the rumors said that you were his friend, that you would follow him to the ends of the earth. Were those stories wrong? Then why? A war, but Eretha is far stronger and with much more powerful allies. Why would he think that he would win such a war? Then he is a fool, and a cruel one at that. I had no idea that he was so lost to this world. You have done a service to the Kadritis Empire then. His own siblings are more fit for the crown than he could be, from what you say. They shall maintain peace and prosperity, I'm certain. Though now... I understand your situation. You can never return. For all the good you've done, you would be attacked on sight. That is truly a tragedy. You have my sympathies. I'm shocked you made it all the way here. You must have been traveling for days. Your strength is nothing less than awe-inspiring. Then, if you cannot return to your own home, where exactly do you plan to go? The Elysian coast? That's nearly 2 months of travel. Surely you cannot think that you'll make it that far. I assure you, that is not the only option you have. I can think of many, many other places you can take up residence in. Yes, many. A vast many, in fact. Perhaps even... my apologies. I got tangled in my own thoughts for a moment. Perhaps it is too late in the night for this conversation. I am certain you are worried from your journey as well. The events of the past few days must have been particularly vexing for you, and a much well-deserved rest would do you well. What, here? Oh, by the gods, no! After I've finally gotten you warmed from the harsh snow, did you truly think I would let you freeze over again? No, you will not be staying here even a moment longer. Come with me. The castle is much warmer than these wretched dungeons, particularly my bedchambers, since the fireplace burns hot enough that it can be felt from my bed. And where else did you expect to stay? I can hardly keep an eye on my cold little rabbit if you are not by my side. As well as that, you still have these injuries that need to be cared for. I did promise I would tend to them, did I not? A fearsome assassin you may be, but you are also my little rabbit. I would hardly lend my clothes to just anyone, after all. Oh, there is no need to think about returning it. In fact, I would much rather you keep it. Seeing you in my clothes is... I will simply say that it suits you, and it makes for quite an enjoyable sight. I just might have to let you take your pick of my wardrobe someday. My crown? Perhaps someday, but for tonight, I think it would be most enticing to see you in my bedchambers. The sound of your chattering teeth can only be tolerated for so long. You can protest as much as you desire, but are you truly going to deny the offer of a warm bed? As I thought. Then come with me, my little rabbit. I think my bed sheets will suit you well.